everybody, Bill and Deb.
Hi there.
Take 3. We're here at Olino State Park near High Springs, Florida. Did I get all that out right?
I think so.
Yeah. This is an absolutely beautiful park. They got some beautiful hiking trails here, but they also have some off-road trails where you can either go horseback riding or ride fat tire bikes on mountain bikes, things like that. And we're going to go on a not a mountain bike trail, but we're going to go on a on an off-road trail. And altogether here, they have roughly, according to what I've read, they have roughly about 30 miles or so of off-road backwoods trails. And we did ride a little bit of it, a couple of weeks ago or so.
Yes.
And the countryside back in there was absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to take you along for the ride today. Now, what we're going to be riding today are the Hovsco HovAlpha bikes. Now, they're available in 2 different versions. One, of course, is the step-through version, which is Deb's bike. That's what she'll be riding today. And mine is the step-over version. Now, they do come with fenders, and Deb opted to go ahead and install the fenders on hers. The rear rack is an option, and Deb wanted to go ahead and put hers on. I opted for now to leave the fenders off. And everybody tells me I may want to change that eventually, right?
That's what they say.
Yeah. But for right now, I'm going to ride it like this and see what happens. But we're going to take you along for the ride. We're going to show you how these bikes perform in this type of terrain. We're really looking forward to it and excited about it. And after we ride for a little while, then we'll stop and take a little bit of a rest. And we'll talk more about the bikes and tell you about all their different features. All right?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. We're going to get our helmets on and get out on the road. We'll see you here in a little bit. Go.
I'm ready.
All right. You want to lead the way?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. All righty. Olino State Park is a beautiful park, isn't it, dear?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. We'll get out of your way here. Hi. Hi. They allow us to ride along the river here just for a little bit, then we have to turn another direction. And here we go. Right now I'm in first gear, pedal assist 1. And these fat tires, you know, this is pretty rough right here. These fat tires and the front suspension on the forks really soak up a lot of that. It really makes a difference.
Yeah, we are.
How you doing? Just fine. What gear are you in, dear?
5th.
5th?
5th.
Well, you need to shift down.
Probably. Now I'm in 3rd.
All right. But neat thing about these bikes, what we really appreciate, we've had them for about a month now, is we found out that, you know, we like riding paved trails, but we also like getting out and seeing countryside that you just don't see on a paved trail, not always. And this is the neat thing about these, they allow us to do these kind of things. I'm cruising along 7, 8 miles an hour right now. It's just a beautiful day today. Out here enjoying the scenery. I'm going to pass you and I want you to follow me
Okay.
for a little bit.
Sounds like a plan.
A little bit of sand right in here. Doesn't make a bit of difference. Man, this is just beautiful back in here. Just gorgeous back in here. Wouldn't you say it's awful pretty back here, dear?
Absolutely beautiful.
The thing about it is, Deb has trouble with, especially one of her knees, a little bit of trouble with the other one. And when we have the bike set up just right for her, she can ride with no problems. But she'd never be able to come out and walk a trail like this, ever. And that's what's nice about having these bikes, to be able to come out and do this kind of thing. Now these bikes, they weigh in the 60-pound range. Deb's is slightly heavier than mine because she has the fenders on it, which they don't weigh very much. And the rear rack, but it doesn't weigh very much. But hers is a little bit heavier. They do have a little extra ground clearance over a typical bike, which comes in handy when you're on rough terrain. Now I'm riding in a little bit of sand right here, and this is no step for this whatsoever. How are you doing back there, dear?
Doing great.
Are you sure?
Yep. Going into the wilderness.
Going into the wilderness. Deeper and deeper we go. I hope we don't get lost like we did last time.
That's why you're leading.
Oh. Well, All righty. I hope you can see it from my handlebar camera there, but that's a pretty neat swamp right there that you're right next to the trail on. You suppose there's any gators in that, dear?
I absolutely think there's some gators in there. There weren't any on the trail, that's all I know. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's pretty cool. I really do. I think it's really cool. Yeah. All right, you ready to ride on down a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay. Deb and I feel really blessed to be able to do things like this, don't we, dear?
Absolutely.
And the whole idea about getting out and doing this sort of thing is, you know, just to keep ourselves going, not end up sitting around on the couch and watching TV and ordering pizza all the time.
Pizza sounds good.
Yeah. Now that's not to say we never have pizza, because we do. In fact, we had pizza just the other day. Had some Hungry Howie's, didn't we?
Yes, and it was
Yeah.
good.
But you know, I really hate talking about it, but we're, you know, younger people out there would say, hey, you guys are up in years, you shouldn't be out doing this kind of thing. But us getting out and doing this kind of thing is what keeps us going. Don't you agree, dear?
Absolutely.
And quite honestly, if it wasn't for e-bikes, we wouldn't be able to do this.
No.
At all.
My regular bike wouldn't be able to handle any
No.
of this.
And you know, as you can see, Deb is pedaling. We both pedal. We don't just run on throttle. We both pedal, because the whole idea is to get out here and and get some exercise. Stay active. When you stay active, you stay mobile. It doesn't matter. Let's try a different trail. I think we went that way last time. Let's try this. Just remember where we were.
Yeah, I was just thinking that's your job.
The front suspension on these bikes really soaks up a lot of this rough terrain, as does the fat tires themselves. Oh, it's 3 miles to River Rise right there. Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah. A lot of surface roots here. I don't know, are those from pine trees that do that?
I have
Are those
no
pine
idea.
tree roots? Because there's pine trees everywhere here. See all the pine cones?
Yep. I'm gonna say those are pine roots.
Yeah. But these bikes, they did take a little bit of getting used to at first because they're different than the bikes we've been riding. But once we're up on them and riding, when we get in rough terrain like this, we feel very secure. Wouldn't you say so?
Yes, once I get going, I'm great.
Well, I'm not nervous about riding out through here. I'm not afraid of something that's gonna grab my wheel or anything like that.
I'm probably gonna stop down here in this shade.
Sounds good to me. Well, we rode for a little ways farther and we just thought we would stop here at this spot. And I would say we're out in the wilderness, wouldn't you, babe?
All you can hear is the wind in the trees.
Yeah. Do a quick turnaround here, show you where we're at. We are out in the Tules, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Sure enough. All right.
Would never see this without my bike.
No, never at all. Never at all be able to see this, even with the other bikes we had. You know, I wouldn't want to try to ride them out here on this kind of terrain, way back up in here. But let's talk a little bit about these bikes. Now, these are the model they call the HovBeta.
Wait a minute, Bill. You called our bikes HovBetas, and they are HovAlphas. This is a HovBeta.
You're right. It's just that I get so confused sometimes because they have such a huge lineup. Do you happen to know what the bikes are in the lineup? How many they got?
I'm pretty sure I do.
All right. Are you now?
Yes.
All right. Well, why don't you just enlighten us right quick?
Well, this is the HovBeta.
Okay. Now, what's significant about the HovBeta?
It was one of the bike that we featured at our last rendezvous. It is a 20-inch fat tire.
It's not a flat tire bike. It's a fat tire bike.
No, it's a fat tire bike, and it's foldable, and it folds up compactly, so you can put it in the back seat or the trunk of a car.
And that's really, really cool bike too, let me tell you. But this one's really, really neat here. This is something that I didn't know that they had.
This is a Hov Scout.
Uh-huh.
It's 26 inches, full suspension, which means it gives a very comfortable ride.
Okay, and it's going to be able to take you places that other bikes couldn't because of its dual suspension front and rear. And it's also a fat tire bike, 26-inch fat tire bike. All right, and then this is the Hovsco HovCity 27.5-inch step-through cruiser electric bike for adults. Did I get that right?
Sounds like it.
All right, and then of course can't forget the Hov Ranger.
No, the Hov Ranger is what you had before we got our new ones.
Yeah.
And it was a 27.5-inch electric bike for adults.
Yeah, and they also, go ahead, I'm sorry.
You really, really like that bike.
I did like that bike a lot, and they offered in two versions. They offered in the step through and the step over, and of course the one I had was the step over, which is like the blue one in the background there. And then of course this is something that some folks might find useful. What do they call this one?
This one is a Hov Card. It's a 20-inch step through electric fat tire cargo bike. It's designed to haul cargo.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure enough. And they have a lot of accessories so you can haul different items in it. Now, this is some new stuff that they just come out with.
Yes, they just came out with this one. This one's a Hovsco Sync Max. It's a 14-inch folding electric bikes. It looks pretty small and probably doesn't weigh very much.
Probably not. I didn't really look at the specs on it, but just from the photo here, it looks like that, you know, it would fold up really nice and compact. But now this is something that really has caught my eye recently.
This one kind of caught my eye. It's the Max electric scooter, and it's for commuting and grocery shopping. Since all of you know I have trouble with my knees, just shopping, sightseeing, this would come in so handy for me, because we could put it in the van and pop it out, and we could run down the street, and Bill would have to run to catch up with me. That would be really cool. Okay, and last but not least, we have, made by Hovsco, the Xander Max 10-inch folding electric scooter for adults.
And I can see a lot of potential for that thing for a lot of different folks.
Well, maybe you need that one and I need the sit-down one.
So you get the sit-down one and I get the stand-up one?
Yeah, then we could just zip in and out of...
Well, who knows? Maybe that's a possibility someday. Maybe for sure. Anyway, all right. Are you ready to get back to the video now? Can I get back to editing?
Yes, we need to get back to editing.
Okay. All right. Of course, we'll talk about Deb's first here. This is the step-through version right here. And it's available in two different colors. This kind of a purpley color. And what's the other color? Do you remember what it is?
There was a champagne, I think.
Kind of a champagne-looking color. I think that's correct. It has a 750 watt hub motor, 7-speed transmission.
Which is a thumb.
Yeah, and it's a...
Shifts it with a thumb
right,
drive.
right. Which is pretty cool.
Plus you can see this really well.
Yeah, Deb likes that, because in the other bike she had a hard time seeing that.
This of course, is your throttle. I've never used it, but it's there.
Yeah, and...
these are your pedal assist buttons. You can go all the way up
to pedal assist 5.
To 5.
I don't know if it'll show on the camera or not, but we'll give it a shot here and see.
Of course, it shows how many miles we've driven right now.
As long as you leave yours on.
Yeah.
I turned mine off. And of course, like we said, Deb opted to go ahead and install the fenders on hers, and she opted for the optional rear rack on it. Now these are adjustable. They claim that they'll fit anywhere from 5.3 foot tall person up to 6'6", 6'7", something like that. If I'm wrong about that, I'll correct it.
Yeah, I'm 5'6", but I found that I had to lower my seat a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's because the wheels are so big.
Well, you've got more ground clearance, and you know the ground clearance is there for a reason, of course, because they're intended to be ridden on, you know, the kind of terrain that we're on right now.
Yeah.
Now, one distinctive difference between the two is, you'll see here, Deb's bike has riser bars. And I would say, you know, that's roughly about a 4-inch rise on that. And you found that to be pretty comfortable for you.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, I don't think.
You know, as far as your riding position is in relation to where you have your seat.
I think so.
Now, mine came with flat bars. The step over version comes with flat bars. And as near as I can tell in other videos about these bikes, and no one ever mentions that, but I knew that it was going to have flat bars when it came in. So what I did, I went ahead and ordered an adjustable stem riser, and I'll post a link to this particular stem riser right here. And then while I was assembling the bike, which by the way, they're pretty easy to assemble, you know, pretty straightforward, just like all the other bikes.
Just like,
you know, they show up, you got to mount the front tire, you got to mount the handlebars,
the kickstand, fenders.
Yeah, if you opt to go with the fenders, but that's about it. You know, it's nothing major. In fact, we didn't even have to consult the instructions, did we?
No, not this time.
Not this time. But anyway, I got this adjustable stem riser, and what you do have to make certain of, which, you know, it worked out well, I have enough cables there in length to reach after I raised the handlebars up. But it definitely made the ride much more comfortable for me, because I raised my seat up, of course, because I'm a taller guy. I raised my seat up quite a bit higher than Deb raises hers. Now, these have a 20 amp hour battery rather than the 15 amp hour battery that are available on like the Hov Ranger, which was my former bike. And They claim with this that you can go up to 80 miles if you use pedal assist only. Then they're claiming 40 miles on throttle only. We never use throttle only, do we?
No, no.
And
I suppose I would if I gone on a long trail and was tired and just wanted to coast back, but I have not done that.
yeah,
I'm out here to get exercise.
right.
Now, I use pedal assist 1, and I have gone up to 2, but I think that's as far as I've ever gone.
Yeah, that's about the same for me. Now when I was on a road here a while back, just for grins, I opened it up in 7th gear, and I was able to hit 26 miles an hour with no problem whatsoever. I was coming up on a stop sign, so I thought that maybe I'd better, start shutting her down. But but I'm a fairly big guy, and I'm kind of like trying to pedal a brick down the road, because I block so much wind myself. But anyway, I was really surprised at how quickly I was able to attain that speed. Of course, what we find, we just generally cruise around, 13, 14 miles an hour.
On a straight path.
On a regular paved
This one, I
trail.
think I've been doing about 8.
Yeah, me too. About the same. Well, I've been following you most of the time, so.
There you go.
So yeah, but there's really no need to go any faster than that on this trail. But can you think of anything else that I might have missed, dear,
No,
about these?
no. There seem to be great bikes. Everybody that sees them loves the fact that,
Oh yeah.
the welds are nice and the paint job's nice. And
In fact, while Deb was putting the batteries on them and I was getting the cameras mounted and everything, people walking by getting ready to go out and walk the trails, they couldn't help themselves. They had to walk by and say, "Nice bike,"
yes.
So anyway, we're going to get back on them here in a second, and we're going to take you over to that, if we can find it,
Yes.
to the...
It's straight back down this trail.
It's back down there somewhere. I don't know where. But we'll find that trail where we kind of call it the sand trap.
The sand trap trail.
The sand trap trail.
I don't think that's what
Yeah.
it's called, but
And we'll show you how it does in there. We're going to go find it and ride on it a little bit and show you how well these bikes can handle something like that, which is very surprising. We could never, ever, ever do that in a typical
no,
bike.
no,
You know.
absolutely not.
Not even close. Not even, especially considering the fact that we're senior citizens. Deb hates it when I say that.
Yes.
All right, now we're getting into deeper sand here. I'm going to go ahead and ride in the middle of it here, just to show you what I'm talking about. I think you cheated and stayed on the hard pack.
Oh. Well, I didn't do it intentionally. Just using good sense, I guess.
I remember it being worse than this the last time we was on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It appears like there's been several cars down here,
Yeah.
or vehicles of some sort, and they've packed it down, because we were just flat trudging through heavy sand, like what's in the middle right there,
Right.
like that. But that torque sensor really comes in handy when you drive across that stuff, like this. But last time we was here, this whole lane was like that section right there in the middle. Since then, they've had vehicles down here of some sort and they've packed it down. But anyway, this gives you an idea. Now this is nothing compared to what it was. Isn't it, dear?
Nothing. Not bad at all.
Yeah, there. When I drive through that, I hit the pedals and that torque sensor kicks in, and I'm able to just power right through that. No sweat. Just like that. I see the river.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't even know what river this is. I guess we need to ask some questions.
I reckon.
Well, I'm not certain this is the river. It might be a branch off of the river. Maybe that's what it means by Periner's Branch.
I don't know.
Think so?
Have to have a map. Don't know. It's pretty.
Uh-huh. It is.
Beautiful.
But it looks like we're discovering stuff just like y'all are, folks.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's just a pool back here.
I don't know if there's a spring coming up, because you see a little bubbling down there, but
Yeah.
whether that's...
I'm sure the locals, if they're watching this video, can tell us, what
Absolutely.
this is.
I got
But-
to thinking this brush back here was probably a good place for alligator bed, so I was looking.
Well, I don't know that much about my gators.
Me
but,
either. But if I was an alligator, that's where I'd build my nest.
Is that where you build it? Well,
Yeah.
But you'd have to climb up this bank.
Yeah, I bet she has a place.
There's quite a bank right here, that you'd have to climb up. Let me walk
Yeah,
down
but
here.
sliding into the water would be fun.
Oh, wouldn't it though? I'm gonna step on down here. Now this water's got a lot of tannins in it. But wow. But it looks like it goes on around the corner over there to me. But it's definitely a pool back up in here, huh? Interesting. Very interesting. I would like to know more. Just beautiful. Beautiful. Isn't it pretty?
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Sure enough.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's just a beautiful day.
The days we've been
Beautiful
looking for. Had very few of these in Florida this year.
Yeah. This is true. It's been kind of a wet and rainy, cold winter.
Cold for Florida, not cold for, Michigan.
Not cold, but especially for the Floridians, they don't like it either.
No.
No.
Who would?
No. But I'll tell you what, folks, as I said a while ago, we feel very blessed to be able to get out and do stuff like this and
Absolutely.
see these sort of things. And because of Deb with her issue with her knee, if it hadn't have been for those Hovsco,
wouldn't be able to
HovAlpha
enjoy it.
e-bikes, we couldn't get out and do this kind of stuff.
No, not at all.
Not at all. So anyway, we love these bikes. These are pretty cool, and they're going to allow us to explore other areas where otherwise we couldn't do that, and that gets us even more excited. And we can still take them out on the paved, beautiful bike trails as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're not limited now.
For sure.
We can even take them to the beach.
That's right. And you know what? You out there, you can do the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure can. You can do the
If
same
we can do
thing.
it, you can
Yeah.
do it.
Now, be sure and check out the Hovsco line. And we're going to include in the description and in a pinned comment, we're going to include a link to our particular Hovsco link. And then when you go in on that particular link that we provide, and then you use the discount code, which I think is Bill100, but it'll all be there in plain print so you'll know what to do. You can get a significant discount. But they have a huge line, and anyone that has ever taken the time to actually look these bikes over, they've all said the same thing. They can definitely see the quality in construction, and we've had lots of people ride these bikes and they come back with great big smiles on their faces every time they do. So they're worth checking out, folks. They definitely are. That's about all I have to say about that.
About all we can say there.
Yeah. We'll do a follow-up video later on, show you different things that we're able to do with them. But for now, we're going to sit here and enjoy the scenery for a moment.
Yes, we are. 'Cause this
And
is
then
beautiful.
we'll hop on our Hovsco HovAlpha bikes and ride back through that off-road trail and get back to
And
the
hope
van.
we can find the van. we're not lost.
Yeah. Be praying for us, okay?
Yes, please.
Don't let us get lost out here. But guys, you know exactly what we're going to say. This is Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures. And we are not camping.
We are living.
Y'all get out there and do some living. And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.